friends, Rifle Chair here, and today we're going to be shooting a new build. This here is a British number 4 Mark 1. It has been partially scrubbed and re-serialed, so I can't really tell you what the manufacturer is, but it's wartime era. I can tell by the quality of the milling. And this is my L42A1 clone. And it is running a Weaver TO1 base, which is drill and tapped to the Lee Enfield. I've given up on the no gunsmith scope mounts, guys. They just don't work, and you don't get enough eye relief on your scope because they're mounted here. They're bolted onto where the rear sight is supposed to be, and so you really got to pull your head back in order to get a decent eye picture. So mounted forward on the receiver here, the TO1 by Weaver. Only problem is these scope rails require for you to use, I think it's an 11 millimeter 22 rimfire scope ring, which I don't like because they're not terribly strong. But we're going to give this a go and see what we can get out of it, squeeze out of it. I've got a really cheap Bushnell on here, which came with a, I mean, like seriously really cheap scope, but 4x32, and why would you need anything more than 4 power, guys? Especially for a rifle like this. We've got the sniper cheek piece on here, of course. It wouldn't be an L42A1 clone without it. And let's see what it can do. The barrel is reasonably good. I would say that it was very good. NRA very good. This is basically a basement parts gun. The nothing here is matching. However, I have put a number 3 bolt head on this thing. It doesn't get any longer than that, folks. However, the headspace is very tight. It had a number 2 bolt head on it previously, and the bolt would not close on a field gauge when I was headspacing it, but it was just a little bit too close for comfort. So I've slapped on a number 3. Had to do a little bit of work to get it to fit properly. So it is pretty tight now, but it does close on a go. Won't close on a no-go. So nice and tight, and the chamber looks to be reasonably true. Let's take her out in the range to shoot, see what she can do. Now let's see if this old Sporter can do it. Bit dark to be wearing eyeglasses, but these are safety eye protection. We'll aim at the bottom right. Welcome to beautiful Terrace, BC. One of the better rifle ranges up in this neck of the woods. Where else can you have a view like this from your firing point? Wow. Not really rapid fire, but tell you, for a guy that's used to shooting out of irons, it sure is strange to shoot a Lee Enfield that is scoped. It just feels strange. In kind of a good way. I'm gonna do something to fix that wood. So, first impressions of the scope mount are good. It appears to be That's the problem with when you buy a rifle like this that has been drilled and tapped already, is you don't know if it's some farmer in their basement that doesn't know a darn thing about aligning a scope mount in accordance with the axis of the bore. I've seen so many of them that have been drilled and tapped in the wrong, they're not true, and it's a real bugger trying to adjust your scope. However, at 200 meters, firing kind of rapid fire, I was hitting the, what is that? I think that's a 10-inch gong over there. It was about 10 inches, 12 inches. Not bad for rapid fire. Certainly those are all, every hit was a lung shot at 200 meters. If you're shooting at a moose, which is probably, if there was one rifle in Canada that has put moose meat on the table the most, it's probably a Lee Enfield. Very appropriate for the job. And we're shooting 180 grain soft points today. Hornady interlocks with a secret formulation that I have for the Lee Enfield. It just doesn't seem to really matter which Lee Enfield I shoot that Hornady load out of with 4350, IMR 4350. Doesn't really seem to matter which Lee Enfield I shoot that load out of. They all shoot good. I mean, the 180 grain soft point. I like what I see so far, and may even be a keeper. Not a lot, it's not a beautiful rifle, but it doesn't look like a beautiful rifle, but it's extremely functional. I would say if there wasn't one improvement that I would do for it, it would be to get lower rings. The scope is still just a little bit too proud for my liking, and I've got a lot of room. I've probably got around a half inch that I could lower that, but however, if you guys know of some 1-inch rings that'll fit onto a 22 receiver that are a lot lower than this, give me a name, give me a brand, give me a model number, and I'll buy them and try them. Sorry guys if I sound a little bit nasally today. I got a bad cold. But I had to come out today because it's beautiful and it's not raining. The first time I've gone shooting for a very long time and not gotten completely wet. Possibilities, guys. I like the drilled and tapped Weaver T01. More work to do on this. We could build this into something special. It is already showing some good promise. So yeah, I built the L42A1. It was a gun that was destined for the junk pile, and it's a salvage job. And this particular clone has got a very, very short barrel, so it's nowhere near kind of the length you would see on a real L42A1, which I believe was like 25 inches or something to that effect. This one here is more like 20 inches. Maybe even just under, actually. But it seems to shoot okay. We'll have a look at the target here. There's should be five rounds off bags, 5 rounds off prone unsupported. Not expecting a lot from the prone unsupported. I wasn't really in the moment. But of course you got to try it, right? Got to try it. The primers on these are full house loads, by the way. The primers on these cases are beautiful. No pressure signs or any kind of issues whatsoever in that regard. Here's the group off bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad. And here's the group prone unsupported. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's me. That's not the rifle. That's my limitations for today. And but we may be onto something here. This rifle might be a shooter. I've done nothing with the bedding. I've done nothing really to accurize the rifle whatsoever. Just slapped it in a piece of wood and put an extremely cheap Bushnell scope on it, and here we are today. More work to do. But I like what I see. So I'd say it was a success story, With some more time and development, I see no reason why this couldn't shoot an inch to an inch and a half groups consistent on a consistent basis. I'll look at we'll be developing this rifle a little bit more. I really like taking a rifle which is kind of destined. You know, this will be the last go around for this rifle, I think. You know, taking an old rifle which has been butchered and, you know, possibly treated poorly in the past, and giving it a new purpose on life is I get a bit of a kick out of doing that. I think you've probably been able to tell that from watching a bunch of my videos in the past. Plus it's kind of attractive. Certainly this rifle seems to turn heads at the range. Today it did. When I arrived here, there was everybody here was shooting the Savage Axis, and there was one Vanguard Series 2, beautiful rifle. I like them very much. But when they saw this, hey, what you got there? Oh, wow, that's cool. It's old style. It's old school. And it's not a light rifle. It's blood and guts. Typical British military. Almost bulletproof. Maybe not the scope mount itself, but these are good rifles. You know how I feel about them, if you've been watching any of my videos. Anyhow, that's it, folks. Rifle Cherry signing off, and as always, Maple Leaf up.